There we go. Now if I'm yelling loudly, I just muted everyone on end. So
Oh.
I shouldn't even be able to hear anything through the iPad. I think that's what was happening. What a bizarre piece of technology.
Yeah. It sounds like the echo effect's gone.
What new magic is this?
Me.
Mama,
Okay.
mama, mama, mama.
Same thing.
La 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 la.
Yo, 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 yo. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha.
Okay.
La, la, la.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Alphanumeric! ReBoot! Bob made me a guardian to mend and defend. That's my job now. And what am I supposed to be?
Hey, we ask the questions around here.
Never mind. It will be glorious.
Over here, big boy.
You've got to face the facts, Sugar. Bob's not here. We're down a guardian and on our own.
Welcome back to another Laser Comb production podcast, Alphanumeric, the show where three 90s kids review the TV show ReBoot. Every episode, starting from season 1, all the way to whatever season it goes up to. I am one of your hosts, NeoCal, and joining me today is the intrepid AP Sniddler.
Hello, everybody. Salivations.
And we also have joining us Christopher Siege.
Syndications, listeners.
All right. Sniddler and the Siege. We are reviewing Firewall, episode 3 of season 2.
AKA the
Like a
episode that shows that the people behind ReBoot really like James Bond.
And
Yeah, like a lot. Like
Yeah.
the whole episode.
Like, I didn't even realize, like, I thought the, and I'll get into this more later, but, like, the opening intro is, like, kind of a mix between an homage to the intro to Goldfinger and GoldenEye, and the song is, like, almost a one-to-one riff of the Goldfinger theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Shamelessly.
Yeah, but, like, a whole bunch of other James Bond movies I was reading on the wiki are referenced, a whole bunch that I haven't even seen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting diving into that.
Like, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which I have seen, but I only saw it once when I was a teenager. And I don't... Here's the thing. I'm not a huge James Bond fan, and I find I don't really... After I watch them, I don't really tend to retain them at all.
I
makes
remember
sense.
GoldenEye was something about a satellite that can shoot lasers.
And Sean Bean dies.
I think that was Gold Member.
As
he do.
As is tradition. As he do.
Speaking of Gold... Before we get into the episode, speaking of Goldfinger, I actually watched Goldfinger for the first time today.
Yeah.
In preparation for this episode.
Okay.
And, wow, that was an experience. If you follow me on Twitter, at Lasercomb, LAZORCOMB, I was live tweeting my reactions as I was watching it. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie, I think it's about at the 9-minute mark, James Bond, as played by the one and only Con Connery, straight up says to a woman, "Move along, man talk," smacks her on the ass. And I'm like,
I remember that.
oh my god.
It's man talk now. Tut.
And then, like, a few minutes
Sean
later...
Connery
Are
of the
they
times.
near a pool or something?
Yeah, they're near a pool. Yeah. And, like, a few minutes later, like, a woman that Con Connery bones ends up being killed and, like, covered in gold paint. And the cause of death was attributed to skin suffocation. Yeah. And I'm just like, lol. I'm like, I Googled it. I'm like, that can't be fucking real. And sure enough, it isn't. No, it isn't.
No, it is.
It's real, yeah.
The actress that had the gold paint on her, they actually had to, like, remove it and reapply it because she was she was having reaction to it.
Well,
I don't know
Google
if somebody
Google
can die.
said
You
it was
might
a myth.
overheat. I don't know if you can die from it or overheat or whatever, but like she was having like health
It's-
problems, like
It's
covering
super
her
bad
skin
for
with
you.
it.
Well,
Bacteria
I don't know
build
if
up
you
and
can
all that.
suffocate though, like technically suffocate, but I know that you can die from it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't know if
like
it's
I said,
because it
I
blocks the
googled it
pores
earlier,
or
and Google
what.
said that skin suffocation, like death by skin suffocation, was a myth.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you could probably overheat and maybe get heat stroke or like something like that, but I don't know if you can die.
Mm.
Unless it's like lead paint.
Basically, yeah, you have to really absorb that. The paint is
Yeah.
real gold, so it's good for you. It's
Yeah.
organic.
Odd Job
Yeah,
throws his
gold
hat,
is good
his
for you.
bowler cap like a frisbee that decapitates a statue.
Is
Oh,
that in
yeah, I
that
remember
movie?
that.
That is in that movie, yeah.
King.
Also, the titular villain, Goldfinger, is probably like one of the least intimidating antagonists I've ever seen in the history of cinema. And yet apparently he's regarded as being like this classic Bond villain. I'm like, what? Really?
Huh.
Oh man. The dude just looks like a fucking used car salesman to me. And like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I know
that's
what you
the
mean.
level of intensity that he conveys. And like his plan is to blow up Fort Knox with a nuke.
His name is Steve, you know, like
Genius plan.
completely unthreatening.
But yeah, that was
Yeah.
that movie did not does not hold up.
It doesn't.
No.
Interesting. Hot take, people. Hot take.
Hot take of a like what, nearly 60-year-old movie at this point.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
able to die from like skin suffocation, then you would theoretically wouldn't be able to like hang out in the pool too long. Right? Because you're underwater.
Hey, there's oxygen in water. Okay, that is.
Okay.
I'm no scientist, but
Hey, according to my brand spanking new Apple Watch, my blood oxygen level is 99%.
Whoa.
That means your blood is made of 99% oxygen.
Means you are going to float, sir. You're
That's
gonna
right.
Float.
No, I said oxygen, not helium.
I
My
meant
blood
on the
helium
water.
level is
I meant
on
on
water.
the water. You're a human dinghy, sir.
oh,
It's gonna bob
we
there.
just discussed a hover dinghy.
Stasis
Recently.
Dingy on the
So-
latest episode of Too Much Energon.
Firewall. Where
Yeah,
are we
Christopher
right now?
was saying it opens up with an original opening.
Yeah, this show for this is the only episode of ReBoot that we've seen so far, to the best of my knowledge, that actually features a cold open.
Yeah,
I can't think of a
And
single
it,
other one.
all original intro without the themed tune and everything, and the intro to "I Come from the Net." It's not
Mhm.
there.
The
Yeah.
whole thing is.
Not-
So
do you know who sings it?
for the listeners, if you're if you're unaware, a cold open is it's really common, especially in network TV. A cold open is where the episode of a TV show doesn't begin with like a title sequence or a theme song or etc. It just begins like in the middle of a scene essentially, and then it'll cut, and then when that scene ends, it'll go to a title sequence. Yeah, so that beginning bit is called a cold open.
But this is
Yes.
Firewall, folks.
Yeah, so the aforementioned cold open of this episode begins on a ski resort that is reminiscent of
Ski
a.
free? I don't know what this is.
I looked it up on the ReBoot wiki earlier.
Oh, it's referencing the escape scene, the snowy escape scene in GoldenEye? No.
No, I think it might be Thunderball. Maybe I'm gonna look it up.
Thunderball was brought up in the wiki. Yeah.
Russians chasing Bond through a snowy, through a snowy mountain on skis.
Except
And
this
actually-
time, it is Santa Claus fleeing.
Literally Santa Claus.
Literally Santa Claus fleeing from two snowmen.
Why? Yeah. Two psychotic snowmen.
Oh, I
trying to
realize
kill-
now
trying to
that
kill
even
Santa
though
Claus.
Enzo is a normal snowman, Andrea, her features, instead of like coal and a carrot, it's like different shells.
So the
So she,
opening sequence is a reference to both
I did
On
not
Her
notice
Majesty's Secret Service and The
Oh.
Spy Who Loved Me.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, so they're throwing
Oh,
snowballs
they're the
and
shells. I
they're
see
trying
that.
to stop him. They're trying to kill him or stop him from stealing the loot, his sack of presents.
Trying to stop
we
him from
got?
delivering presents.
Are they bad? Yeah, is he just trying to deliver
Is he
presents?
Is he
I
bad
think-
Santa?
I think
Or
he's
is
trying
he
to
good
deliver
Santa and they're bad
presents.
snowmen?
And they're bad snow. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
There's an arch of snow with some random Christmas stockings hanging from it.
Yeah,
is
Andrea
weird.
seems to have a power, and she like turns her snowman body into an ice ramp.
Into an ice. Yeah.
And Santa's saying "ho ho ho" in a jovial manner the whole episode, and he
Oh, hang
like
on.
flies off a cliff.
Yep.
I wish there were more Christmas games.
Oh wait, that's Enzo's snowman. Turns into ice.
Oh, is it Enzo?
Yeah, the pot flies. He has a pot on his head.
He's got a
Yeah.
pot.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you wish there were more Christmas games.
No, I do. I legitimately do. You know what I did last Christmas? Like this past Christmas, Christmas 2020? When I woke up in the morning, I had some Carol Ann's and hot chocolate and played Saints Row 4's Christmas DLC.
Nice.
How the
Nice.
Saints saved
Nice.
Christmas.
We should jump on Dead by Daylight around Christmas time. They always have like, they change the levels to make them Christmassy.
Nice.
They have Christmas skins.
I know Borderlands 2 had some Christmas DLC that came out back in like 2013, 2014.
Way back in the day.
Way back when. It's about all the Borderlands 2 I've really played because I'm just not into those games.
It's like infinitely more fun with another person.
That's what I've heard, but most
Solo, it's
yeah, most of the time I prefer to play video games solo. So
I've always made it like halfway through those games and then teetered out.
that's like me with
Yeah.
most Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, that's me with every single Assassin's Creed game I've ever played.
I've
I
completed
don't know why.
I've completed a handful of them. Like I've beaten Brotherhood, I've beaten 4. I beat the one on Vita, Liberation.
But did you beat Assassin's Creed Operation Kill Santa?
Operation Dumbo Drop?
Sounds like a poo.
Dumbo Drop?
Well, it does. It does star Pauly Shore.
That's true too.
Remember when he died? Anyways,
Oh, it wasn't him that died. It was DMX that died.
oh, that's right.
No, let's not do that today. That's sad though.
Rest in peace, DMX.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're gonna give it to you in
Look,
up in heaven.
look out, God, because X's gonna give it to you today.
That's right. Where were we here? Oh, so Santa's falling to his death.
Yep. But he
But
has this.
What is that?
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, he's got this. He just ditches the sack, and what does he do? He pulls a cord or something, and this gigantic Christmas bauble, like
Christmas bulb.
inflates above him. Yeah, Christmas bulb thing, and it's like he like
Oh,
pulls the
yeah.
thing,
Yeah, it's a
like
tree
skydives.
bulb.
Upside down, like tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like a helium balloon, but it's
Yeah,
like a
it
decoration.
looks like a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
And he's like, ho ho ho. And the two snowmen are like, ho 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 this. And they use a Christmas tree to like, they pull back and launch
Launch an
a
icicle.
giant icicle spear at it, shattering it and making him fall to his demise.
Yep.
And he
And
falls
he-
saying, ho, ho, ho.
And then boom, we get
Fire.
fire.
Yeah, we get a very James Bond-esque intro sequence that, as I mentioned, is kind of a mix between the intros of Goldfinger and GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And the theme song,
dang.
as I already mentioned, is like I said, almost a 1-to-1 riff for the Goldfinger theme.
Very, very much.
But it's also sung. But the way it's sung in it like a faux like Tina Turner style, and Tina Turner did the theme song to GoldenEye.
But very Tina
Okay,
Turner.
that's
This
what I
is-
was. Yeah.
This is sung and very beautifully replicated by Jane Mortife. I'm hoping I get that right. She's a singer from Vancouver,
Oh,
cool.
Vancouver, British Columbia. And yeah,
not
nailed
Vancouver, Washington.
Not
Yeah,
Vancouver, Washington.
Oh man.
And we are from Victoria, British Columbia, not Victoria, Texas,
Yeah.
or Victoria,
There's a
Australia.
Victoria in Texas.
Australia. It's funny that
And
you know that.
I don't know if you can
Christopher.
tell by our voices, but we're definitely not Australian. So
Damn.
We
Don't
we
give us
on,
away.
on our other on me and Cal's other show, Too Much Energon, we actually have a listener. Well, we have a few listeners from Australia actually, but one of them who wrote into the show a long time ago is from Victoria, Australia,
oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
which is how I
I
found
worked
out
at
that
a
Victoria,
hotel.
Australia exists.
I worked at a hotel for a decade, and whenever I would get like a southern accent or an Australian accent trying to make a reservation, I'd go, now, before we get into any details, are you looking to book with this hotel in Victoria, Texas, or in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada?
Columbi.
And most of the time, they would go, "Oh, no, I'm looking for." If they had an Australian accent, they'd be like, "Oh no, I'm looking for the one in my country," and I'm like, "Okay, thought so."
I don't
This is the one
understand.
in Canada.
I don't understand how you can make that mistake though, because phone numbers are extremely different over there and in the rest of the world than they are in North America.
Yeah.
It's happened to me about a dozen times.
Like the country code's completely different, and like there's more numbers.
Oh God, even more.
Yeah. Like have you ever seen like a European phone number? Like it's bananas
numbers.
looking compared to ours. Bananas, I say.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Bumblebee tuna.
Fire. See it burning in the skies. Sorry, I just got it.
Not bad.
Where's the guitar?
goes-
The flame
goes
that
through
never
my-
dies.
I can't figure it out on guitar. I'm over here trying to figure it out in my head. Like, not gonna interrupt.
Hmm.
It's like right there. I'll figure it out.
A giant like line of fire, almost like it's creating a crow outline.
Yeah.
Makes the reboot symbol, the icon.
Yep. And let's talk about Dot and Mouse in this intro.
They're
It's
swimming
just
through the
very,
fire,
Very.
dot and
Yep.
mouse, very sensually.
Yeah.
Fong is
Yep.
falling through the fire.
Fong is also
yeah.
fonging around. It's like,
And like
"Meh."
it's almost like they're wearing like different clothes, like fiery, like skin tight suits, because they ride up in some areas.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
noticing
Well,
now.
I think they're just wearing like silver suits, and the fire around them is reflecting off of them.
Reflecting, yeah.
Yeah. But yes,
Yeah, let's go
straight.
with that.
Possibly.
I know what you're getting at.
Oh, there's
here,
Frisket.
because Dot straight up has a camel
Frisket.
toe.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so that's happening, huh?
I'm like, wow.
Oh, hello, Mouse.
And
I am glad you noticed it too.
yeah, I didn't
And
notice it when I watched
fonging
it.
around.
When I watched it like last week, but I noticed it when I rewatched it just before we just before we started recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
At the end of this this little music video here, there is a shot of Megabyte's face with flames all around him that is very evocative of Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, you know the opening title sequence of T2, one of the great opening title sequences in my opinion, with like, you know, like the playground burning and everything like that. and it
Yeah,
ends with like a close up shot of a T-800 endoskeleton Terminator face, and it like
Yeah.
kind of zooms in and it plays the with fire around it, and it just plays the din 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 music, and so the end of this little intro here does kind of the same thing with Megabyte, and I feel like it's probably an homage to that.
It's like a big statue,
Yeah.
a stone statue, and it has 1 foot up as he's kind of like proudly like posing, and Enzo's like underneath his foot trying to like hold his weight.
Well, that's not
Knock
the
him
part that
over.
I'm talking about, but
No, I just jumped to the.
oh yeah.
I was talking about the statue in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way it ended is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this is like some super artistic. He does Enzo does an action roll.
Oh yeah, he does a couple.
Yeah.
I was noticing that earlier. I'm like, we see it like the action roll from a
Slow
couple of
motion.
angles,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, that was
This is
necessary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because reasons. You know, I didn't really think this is kind of random, but I didn't really think my my choice of hat through because it's almost the exact same color as the curtains behind me.
Oh yes.
That's all right. How dare you? Go change your hat right now.
Mid
I'm
recording.
not wearing it. I'm not wearing a hat. I gotta find a hat.
Well, whose fault is
All
that?
right.
I feel left out.
So we're in. We'll donate you some hats.
Hats for
Fair. I
bats.
need a hat fund.
Keep
hat
bats
fund for
warm.
AP Sniddler.
Yeah, come on, folks.
We'll
Contribute to the hat fund.
We'll set up a GoFundMe.
Get AP.
Yeah,
Sniddler
that's
hat.
it.
Just start tweeting about it, Sniddler, and
PayPal, Aiden.Sniddler.
I'm sure people will contribute.
Oh, maybe.
Man,
Or-
you got that sweet like.
Or set up an Amazon
ReBoot
wish
Mad
list
Max
that's just all hats
Oh, yeah.
and post a
From
link.
Bailey
There you go.
Buttons, everybody.
Reboot hats.
I
So,
need an Enzo hat. That's what I need.
oh, I need an Enzo hat. That'd
Yeah.
be cool with like the
Yeah.
icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my face green.
You can't do green face, man. 2021.
What about Blueface?
Blueface is
That's
it's in. It's in right now, but it's dying out.
well. I better jump on that pretty quick.
Yeah, get on the
I'll
Blueface.
do
Strike while the
Blueface.
iron's hot.
Yes.
So yeah, they killed Santa. It cuts off after the firewall opening.
Killed Santa,
And,
ruined Christmas.
Yeah, and Enzo says, "Ho ho ho! What kind of catchphrase is that?" And I'm like, "These godless heathens don't know what Christmas is."
I mean, why would they, right?
Exactly, it makes sense, but it's just funny, right? We're so used to everyone knowing what Christmas is that the fact that they're clueless to that is kind of it reminds us that this is not Earth. as we
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Neither
don't know.
neither
what
an
happens
Earth
in
nor
a
a
computer.
planet Energon B.
No.
And so
their best friend is there somehow.
yeah, so Enzo is all like, "Oh, where are the pickup teams? We should have been picked up by now." And Megabyte and the ABCs are there
Suddenly.
suddenly.
Which is weird because
They
they were
have
just
been-
looking around. So he
Yeah.
like pokes his head between that Megabyte is like he pokes his head between theirs. But they were just like looking around looking for their pickup crew. So I'm like, holy
And,
fuck,
yeah, and
how
it
fast
shows
did they
up
sneak
right-
up?
Yeah.
Right behind. Yeah.
This is like a scary moment for me, like a very real moment.
Okay.
Basically the conversation that they have where he's like, "Oh, I have a message for your sister." And he's like, "I'm a guardian, I'm not your messenger." And what does he say to him? "You have and always will be a mere delivery boy." And he like chokes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Do
"If
not
you
provoke me, boy.
Yeah, and it is by my will alone.
My
that
will
you
alone.
survived this encounter."
Yeah.
And I'm
I was like, holy crap.
that's this brings it into the realm of realistic horror
Yeah.
because like a very like physically imposing like adult, like letting a child know that like, hey, like I can kill you right now very easily
Yeah.
is like that's that shit's too real, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's gonna
Well,
fuck
like,
him up.
This is the most like serial killer moment we've seen from Megabyte.
It's scarier than him torturing his sister, which is also up there. He's not good. Before he was like a mob boss, you know, like that uncle that like everybody's like, oh, we got to get him out of here. But like he's not a good guy. He chokes children and
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's kind of a horror villain, in my opinion.
yeah, he's scary. Yeah, the shows we've been watching lately, the villains are actually getting scary and competent. Both mega villains.
Both mega villains, soon to be upgraded to ultra villains if they play their cards right.
And then giga villains.
And then giga villains. Well, that went so well the last time.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez. So they're back in the principal office,
Yeah.
talking about shit they should do.
Yeah.
And Andrea fills them in and basically says that is trying to demoralize everyone hiding out, saying, "Oh, you're hiding in the safety of blah 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 in the principal office, and everyone out there is suffering because of you. And if you gave up the
Yeah.
principal office, then they wouldn't have to." And he's making sure that they suffer the more you resist.
Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
like, don't give in to terror. That's terrorism.
Yeah.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And Enzo's like in the fetal position, like crying, huddled up in the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah. Like really, really down on himself. He kind of does this. He's like really, really confident, and he's like, you know, yeah, I can do this. And then Megabyte shows up every single time, and then he's all the way back down to the bottom.
Yeah, Megabyte
I
really
kinda
has a
like
way
that.
of getting into his head, hey?
Yeah.
Lifting
Well,
someone
he
up
just sees
by the
him
neck off
sees him
the
as a
ground
boy
will
still.
do that.
Yeah.
Season 1 and season 2, but season 1, Enzo, his mood like was very up and down all the time too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like he'd flip and be happy because Bob would include him, and then he'd get sad and like feel useless. And I feel
Yeah.
like he's trying his best, but there's still the old Enzo in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dodd asks him, "Well, Guardian, what do we do now?" And he like smacks her hand away and is like,
Like,
"Don't
don't.
humor me."
Don't humor me. Yeah.
Get away from me. I'm just a boy.
Don't look
Thank
at me.
thank
I'm
goodness
just a
Andrea's
boy.
there.
What you need is a man. A real manly man.
And then there's sad Enzo music.
I love the sad
Enzo music. Yeah. And Fong goes to console him, and Mouse is just like, no, stop. You know, don't. He needs to hear something real. You know, doesn't need pity. He needs real.
So basically, Enzo is basically all like, "This is bullshit. Like, we shouldn't be hiding in here. Megabyte,
Yeah.
that should be hiding from us." And this gives Fong an idea, basically, to essentially lock the viruses into the Silicon Tor district. A
Well, I do
firewall.
declare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna try to make a firewall around him, whatever
Yeah.
that means.
Yeah, he
An
likens it to
inverted
like,
firewall.
yeah,
I don't know what that is.
I don't, yeah.
I asked my partner, who's like actually a programmer, and she's like, I don't know. I don't think that's a thing.
Not a thing. That's some techno babble.
Yeah.
But in 1997, who knew better, right?
Who even knew what a firewall was, really?
I certainly didn't.
It's
pretty-
TV.
I'm pretty sure this episode was the
Whoa.
first time I ever heard the term firewall.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about it when
I certainly didn't have a computer yet, so.
No, I didn't either.
I had a computer, but I didn't hear the term firewall after this until I'd say junior high. Something about computer maintenance and virus protection and all that stuff. I was like, oh, Firewall. I've heard that on ReBoot.
That's the thing. I know it is. So
Yeah,
we cut to a scene.
I wonder if
where,
I wonder if my AOL Canada disc can install one of those.
I'm sure it can. we cut to the scene where Mega Breath is torturing his sister. She's like up on like that energy rack.
Yeah.
And she's all like, "Oh, please, brother, I'm so weak." And Air Doctor is like watching, like fapping.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Doctor," and he shocks her, and she screams out in pain, showing that she was actually kind of just playing. She was pretending.
Obviously not weak. Yeah.
Looking for sympathy. Because after she's done like screaming, she like goes fucking like monstrous on him. What does she say? Once I'm like in her screaming.
I will
voice.
tear you apart once I'm free from this infernal collar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Air Doctor
The thought alone
immediately
keeps me alive.
stops fapping and just like goes completely soft.
No, he's like, keep talking. That's doing it.
Go on, I'm so close.
Talk about killing me.
Oh god. Okay.
But yeah, after she threatens Megabyte, she kind of like looks up into the sky and she's like, "Oh, the thought of killing you alone keeps me alive." And I'm like, she's used to trauma. She can deal with this.
This is just such a great season for brother and sister like Hex and Megabyte bickering, just like siblings. But
Yeah, just
except
like
they're obviously
siblings.
taking it to a new extreme where they're actually trying to kill each other, and it's kind of, a little more violent sibling rivalry.
Violent sibling rivalry or like sex slave? Because I'm not getting sibling rivalry from this. I'm getting like
No, well, there's that. There's obviously Megabyte's hunger for power, and just using his sister for that.
Well, it's a good contrast.
But it's
that
it's
sister-brother
definitely
relationship, and then
Excuse
Dot
me.
and Enzo's sister-brother relationship.
Yeah, this whole
Yeah,
this whole situation that Megabyte has Hex in is weirdly sexualized.
Like
Yeah,
she has
well,
she
yeah.
has like
she's on a
lingerie.
rack.
and
Yeah.
like
She's
a
got a corset.
bustier or a corset. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like
It's
Hey, it's okay with me.
hey man.
Meg.
Hey, man.
It's okay with
Megabyte's
Megabyte,
just like
too.
bringing in binomes to watch.
Nice. Yeah.
No, he would never do that. Air Doctor on the side is letting Binoms pay him.
Keep
to
forgetting
come and
about
watch.
Air Doctor.
That's his side hustle.
Yeah, that's a side hustle. Not even that much, like $10 a fap. Fuck.
What a ripoff.
Well,
Hey,
are there hotter?
one man's trash is another man's treasure, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so what happens after that
Where-
torture scene? Other than the fappening.
The fappening.
Hang on, I'm getting my mind off of Hex for a second. What does
Why
happen
would you
after
do that?
this? I don't want to. I'm trying to move forward with the show.
Megabyte,
I see.
Megabyte even refers to Hex as his new toy.
Yes.
He's like,
Yeah.
it's time to put
It
my
is
new
time
toy to use. I'm like, wow,
And
how
they-
dehumanizing, dude.
Yeah. And she has like kind of like an exhausted or a sad look on her face, which she does not usually. So it switches into like monstrous rage, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
there's some sympathy there for her.
So we cut back to the principal office, and Fong, Dot, and Mouse are going to essentially meet Q,
Yeah. I was
who's
gonna
named
say.
Hugh.
Oh, Hugh, right.
Hugh. Yeah.
Yeah, this whole sequence is kind of a riff on like a scene in almost literally every James
The
Bond
gadget
film.
lab.
Yeah, the gadget
Yeah,
lab.
yeah.
They,
instead of Q
Well,
branch,
Q-
it's Q branch.
Q or Q branch.
I
Yeah,
get it. Yeah.
yeah,
I know it's great.
yeah.
British and everything.
Right beside them
yeah, they are.
is a yellow taxi. And a bunch of crash
yeah.
dummy binomes eject out of it, which
Oh.
is really fun. Because, like, I'm sure this is a reference to the Incredible Crash Dummies.
Has to be,
Gotta
right?
be.
Yeah, it was a
Gotta
toy
be.
line. Yeah, I'm sure you guys remember it. And, like, I've
Oh,
even
God,
mentioned it
yeah.
on this show before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a toy line. If you're new to the show, it was a toy line in the early 90s, and they were these dolls that the gimmick, or dolls, they were action figures that the gimmick was they had like a little button on their torso, and whenever you pressed it or they would slam into something, their limbs would all go flying.
Their heads and
They were meant to
limbs.
fall apart and be put back together.
Yeah, and their vehicles would do the exact same thing.
I loved mine. Yeah. Well, the vehicles were kind of rigged so that they would crush a certain way.
Right.
Yeah,
It was
and
kind of cool. I was like, oh, this is.
I
never had the car though.
I had the taxi.
Did you?
Several years later, because I remember this would have been like probably in like 94 or 95, like years after the toy line was already dead. There was this like toy store that was going out of business, so they were like selling off all of their inventory for like 90% off. So my mom bought me all of these toys for like super cheap. So I got like a shitload of like Star Trek toys, a bunch of these Crash Dummy toys, a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff.
Oh my gosh, they're all over eBay.
But the reference is kind of fun because the Incredible Crash Dummies had a pilot that I think aired in 1992, so a couple of years before ReBoot even premiered. And it's one of the, if not the first, like fully CGI cartoon.
Wow.
Oh.
ReBoot gets ReBoot.
No, you mentioned that before.
I did, yeah. I'm bringing it up again because it's kind of topical, and
I remember that. This is there's like a dog and a cat, and there's even a baby in a stroller, which is kind of dark. But yeah, here they all are. They're all over eBay, and this is actually kind of amusing. I'll look at that later. But yes, Q branch.
I wouldn't mind actually tracking down that Incredible Crash Dummies cartoon, because it was meant to be a show, but like it didn't get picked up. But Fox Kids still aired the pilot as a like Saturday morning special.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind tracking it down and talking about it on the show or on another podcast.
There's another podcast idea from Lasercomb.
Or maybe a bonus episode
tuned.
for this, because it's
Or a bonus episode,
yeah.
No, an entire podcast about that show that never
about
got off the ground.
one episode.
Yeah.
So
Mercy.
listeners, if you'd like to hear a one-off episode where we talk about that, let us know.
we will do it
On Twitter. Or by email. Or on YouTube comments. Just let us know if you want to hear. If you
Courier
wanna see that.
pigeon.
Courier pigeon. There you go.
Why limit yourself?
Morse code. Yeah, so
The Hue branch or the Hue branch.
yeah, the tech lab, there's a bit where like someone opens fire on like some binomes wearing bulletproof vests, which
With like a laser gun.
yeah, which was a thing which was a thing that actually happened in Goldfinger.
Huh. Yeah, this buckle up, because this whole episode is definitely
I love what happens here. They're talking about the firewall, and in the background you see a zero binome flush a toilet,
Yeah, what's up with that?
and he looks down into the toilet and it freaking explodes.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing left of him. And the other one's there with a clipboard, and he's just like, oh, okay. Just kills me every time.
I am very fond of humor that involves like something going on in the background that isn't acknowledged by characters in the foreground. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Always have. So like characters in the foreground are just like talking like everything's fine. Meanwhile, there's like all kinds of mayhem
Shenanigans happening
going on in
back.
the background that they're just not noticing. Yeah, I love that shit.
And
There's even
so,
like little schematics for the firewall already on
Yeah.
the computer.
yeah.
Yeah, so Hugh is explaining to them basically how this firewall concept will work, and oh shit, warning, incoming game. And Enzo and Andrea go for the game, and we cut to
It's
inside
just
the
right
game.
into it.
Yeah, and the game of the week is Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Basically.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was gonna be like, this kind of looks like Andy's room. Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
A
kinda, yeah.
little more kiddish than Andy's room, but yeah, definitely Andy's
Yeah.
room. Got like the
Andy's room
boombox.
before he got Woody.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'm pretty
Sounds
sure
right.
like even the walls are the same color.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember.
I think the walls
Oh.
in Andy's room had clouds on them, but I'm not
I
sure.
recognize like. I don't recognize a lot, but I know that little thing on the desk, the cupboard, looks exactly like the cupboard from Indian in the Cupboard. Did you ever watch that or have to read that?
Oh,
in school?
yeah. I
I
remember that.
remember
yeah.
the movie from like
too.
from the early 90s, like maybe like 92,
Yep.
93ish,
Yep.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's the cupboard from it.
Well, and
Huh.
we do see a Native American toy type
Yeah,
character
later on.
on.
So that's
So
supposed to be Little Bear
yeah, so
or whichever his name was.
I'm assuming it's intentional.
Yeah.
Cool, good catch. I would not have recognized that.
There's a Vancouver
That's the only
Canucks
thing I'm gonna
goalie.
recognize in this episode.
Oh, there totally is.
There's a Vancouver Canucks goalie mask beside the door. I just noticed this now.
I
So,
didn't
it's
catch that
exciting to
earlier.
me. Yeah,
Oh,
right by the snake.
yeah.
That is, and it's number 1. Oh, I lost an ear thing.
Who was goalie for the Canucks at this time?
It
It was somebody like noteworthy, right?
Ooh, excuse me. Allergies.
allergies.
I've got allergies. Terrible dust ones.
Terrible.
So they're really small.
Still
They're
doesn't
like
work.
toy size in this room.
Yeah, I would say they're like micro machine size because that's
Yeah.
a huge room and they're
Do you
tiny.
remember those dollar store snakes that the one that just hissed
Yeah,
at Enzo there?
yeah.
No.
Like the ones
Ones where
that
you're
they've got little joints and they like
You like have to
Slither?
hold the tail.
You
and it
hold the
kinda
tail and
slithers. Yeah.
as you hold it horizontally. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it kind of like does this. That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, I don't remember those at all.
I'll
I think
find
they're
one
still
later on.
available in dollar stores.
Have to be, yeah. Used to always I remember those vividly.
You know what
So
I used
there
You know what I used to get from dollar stores all the time when I was a kid, where there were these like there was this line of like knockoff GI Joe figures called the Core.
Oh yeah.
And they were
I
so
remember that.
they were so like they were the same size and scale of
Yeah.
GI Joe figures, but they were way shittier and had like way less articulation, but like I don't know, I bought them because like they would still fit in my GI Joe vehicles and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They had some awesome toys in dollar stores from what I remember. I don't know what it's like now.
You
but
used them as extras, right? They were
Basically,
the guys
yeah.
that could die.
yeah, pawns, cannon fodder.
I was just gonna
yeah.
say cannon fodder, yeah.
Yeah. The ones that you don't mind blowing up or melting in a microwave.
Microwave.
mm,
Hey now. You use a magnifying
Okay.
glass like every 90s
Campfire.
kid, damn it.
barbecue, whatever Sid did in Toy Story.
All of the above.
All of the above. Probably
Waffle
a
iron.
toaster.
I should
Waffle
watch
iron.
that movie again soon.
So, Enzo and Andrea aren't the only ones in this game.
There's an anti-Enzo protest group led by Cyrus the Virus.
This guy,
Yeah.
And
Now, this is what gets me.
Cyrus
The
approves.
little group. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
The little group, this little, like,
Oh,
protest group, they are full of binomes that were in the last episode
yeah,
who
Fargo
played
ladies
Rocky
there.
the Rabid Raccoon.
Yeah.
Weird,
with
right?
Enzo.
Yeah.
So they were on his side. They were like, "Oh, we can work together." And man,
These
bitches
fuckers.
don't be loyal.
No kidding.
Like, yeah, a third of them. Like, there's quite a few. The guy that talked like this, is
he
in
there?
there.
Is he there?
The who
banker?
else is in there? The mom binom, the one that's always holding the little
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
with the guardian toy.
Kid
is
always.
in there.
Yeah. There's
You'd think that kid would be potty trained by now.
Fargo
Not
cop,
Took guy.
police from Fargo.
Took guy's in there too. Come on.
Okay, so I
Ed's
picked up.
in
I
there,
noticed
too.
this earlier because like we were wondering recently, like, have we ever actually heard Toot Guy talk?
This is the first time.
And technically,
he might
And
have
it's
made
actually-
sounds.
He does.
and so here he's saying pretender according to these
And-
subtitles. I couldn't
Yeah,
understand what he was
because they're all
saying, but-
ranting and they
Poor
leave
guy.
him behind, and they're all like, "Down with Enzo," blah blah blah. And as they walk away, he's like, "The pretender," and he like
And then-
looks around.
He's like, "Oh, I'm part of this." Oh, all gone.
I just want to be a part of something, damn it.
Yeah. Anybody with the name Cyrus is gonna be evil. Come on.
Yep.
Mm.
Just
The,
notice
the,
the doctor.
the baby even throws its fucking little guardian doll at Enzo
Yeah.
and bonks him in the
Yeah.
head with it.
I
And I'm
just
all
noticed
like,
the
fuck you,
doctor
baby.
teaching him young. I just noticed that the doctor binom has a red and black icon.
Yeah, I saw that. That's weird. He's got the funniest voices too. Yeah, with Enzo.
So for some reason, they're down with the only person trying to protect them from the games, nullifying
Yeah.
chunks of mainframe. So even with propaganda, like, yeah, okay, whatever. But like, a chunk of them were in the game with Enzo.
Yeah.
I thought they were all like,
I would have thought.
they changed their
Yeah.
minds easily.
Yeah. I guess Cyrus is persuasive.
Well, and even in this
Persuasive Cyrus.
in this particular context, though, too, like, they're stuck in a game now with Enzo.
Yeah.
He's probably their best bet for survival at this exact
Yeah.
moment. So maybe don't.
Maybe shut
Maybe
up.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
for
just
now,
play
at
the
least.
game. Yeah. Save it until after.
What do they hope to gain by? Whatever they hope to gain from this is interrupted because the mob of protesters gets scared from a big dog, and suddenly Frisket is there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
The good boy that he is.
Yeah.
Arf arf.
And then we see the user. So this is clearly a wacky racist situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like 100%, like including who Cyrus reboots into, as well
Him
as
and Frisket reboot.
You
into
remember the
Dick
villain's name?
Dastardly.
Is
Dick
that
Dastardly.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Muttley, the dog.
That's a good memory. Yeah, like the dog that laughs like. Yeah,
It's just like wheezing.
yeah.
Love it. So where are we at right now? We cut back to it looks like they're back at Q Branch.
Yeah, it's like a hangar.
Yeah,
looks of it.
where they're loading up
Andrea
Mouse's.
rebooted into a biker babe again.
We're not quite there yet.
We're not quite there.
Oh, sorry. I'm
we
jumping
did.
ahead.
We jumped ahead to Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Yeah,
but
we'll get there.
yeah,
Sorry, you were
before
saying?
that, we're back at the hangar where Mouse is getting all the senders loaded onto her jet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a bunch of like devices.
yeah,
Yeah, to set up the firewall. And basically, like, Dot just gives her, like, a little, like, you be careful out there type pep talk.
Hmm. What if someone sees you type thing, or no, or yeah, kind of.
A riot is a terrible thing, but my, that's a big dog.
My, that's a big dog. Grr.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is where
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier that we see the user. Oh man, there's
She's
the
in, like,
number
a pink-
5.
A pink buggy.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
a Barbie doll.
I want to see what the number 5 binom reboots into.
A number 6.
That would be yeah, that would be pretty funny.
But yeah, Andrea's a biker babe again. There's this
What is it
theme.
you with?
They even
what is it
comment
with
on
you
it.
and motorbikes?
Yeah. She's like, a biker babe again? And she's like, wow, you look cool, Enzo. And the camera pans over to Enzo. And he says, that's Matrix. Guardian Matrix. As he kind of like adjusts his tuxedo.
Yeah.
And like Christopher had mentioned, like the whole thing is a huge James Bond
Yeah.
homage.
Yeah.
Like he's specifically, which one is he specifically? Like Sean Connery?
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause-
Well, what is it? What did the wiki say? He displays this
Oh.
a certain chauvinistic charm.
He says he introduces himself in the suave, chauvinistic charm.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I was like, that's like saying like, oh, he said goodbye in the friendly, feminist way. Do you know what I mean? It's just a weird
Yeah.
descriptor. I'm like,
Is it
he's
such
not
a strange?
saying that's Matrix, Guardian Matrix, isn't chauvinistic.
No,
You could say
it's just-
James Bond is, yes,
Yeah.
but his introduction isn't. I don't understand that. Just a little nitpick on the wiki I noticed.
Run along,
like,
man talk.
Wiki.
Fuck.
Man, no
I was
talking.
like I
Go fix
actually was
Daddy a
like,
drink.
like as soon as I saw that earlier, my reaction was just like, wow. The 60s were what a time.
Is that the first time you've seen that?
Goldfinger? Yeah. I wasn't sure if I'd
So you didn't know the ass slap was coming.
No.
Make like a good woman and make daddy a drink. Or men are talking.
Yeah. It's
Oh, my.
God. Yeah. That movie is not good, listeners. I don't like it. I actually shut it off after I think there was only 10 minutes left in the movie, but I'm just like I got to a point where I was like, I don't even care what happens in the climax of this film.
So, oh jeez,
Where are we
what
at now?
happens here? Oh, Cyrus has never rebooted before.
I don't know how. I've never done it before.
What
He's
does he
never
say?
beetrooted.
Beetroot.
Beetroot.
And I'm like, really, bro?
It's like,
Beetroot?
I fucking love his face as he is
as he's
just
rebooting.
about to reboot. I might make that the art for this
He's
episode.
So when he
Yes,
looks up
do
and then
it.
he just
And he's like,
He's just like, he's like terrified. He's like, "What's happening to me?"
his ride is rad though.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like you said, it's like Dick Dastardly with like his outfit, but it's got like flame decals on the side, and Frisket is in the passenger seat beside him.
It's pretty great.
Oh, they're even he's even shaded, like drawn as if
Yeah.
he's supposed to be like
Yeah.
a cartoon. Yeah.
okay, so fill me in. What is this in reference to?
Do you remember the cartoon, The Wacky Races? I think it was called.
No.
It's by Hanna-Barbera, like Flintstones and Jetsons and all that.
Basically, it's like this. The Wacky Races are a race that go across. Was it America or the world? Sniddler. Just me, or maybe it wasn't anywhere. It was just from one place
First,
to another. Right?
America.
Probably.
Tomorrow.
And the way
the world.
the way the Wacky Races worked is every episode there would be like a different like winner. And I guess these multiple races across America or wherever they are, you don't just win once, every episode is another race, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the villain on it is Dick Dastardly, and he has this like
That's-
dog that like helps him.
Not familiar with the show. I'm a fan of that name, though.
Dick Dastardly.
Yeah.
The funny
just such a
thing is,
great- I would name my son that.
no,
I would. Dick Dastardly Snyder.
Remember this.
That has a nice ring to it, actually.
Right?
Dick Dastardly Snider.
Dick Dastardly Snider. Like, can you get any
Please
more
don't.
evil? Like,
Yeah, that's an evil name, man.
Richard
That guy's got a-
Dastardly.
Richard
Yes.
Dastardly. The name Snyder. Dick Snyder.
Dick Snyder.
What the hell was I saying? Oh, the funny thing is,
anymore.
Dastardly would always get like ahead of the group and then set
Yeah.
up traps for the others.
Dick Snyder's ReBoot, the Guardian Code.
Dick Snyder cut of ReBoot.
Yeah.
That's my new. That's gonna be my new name. Okay. Get it legally changed.
So, please
Dick
do.
Dastardly Philip
Dick
Snyder.
Dastardly Philip Snyder.
Brief sidebar.
Sniddler,
I'm actually
Sniddler.
planning on legally changing my name to Christopher Siege eventually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do it. I think that's a cool name.
I like
There
it
you
more
go.
than my actual real name, or my actual last name, which I'm not going to reveal on air.
That's fair. That's fair.
the funny thing about the wacky races is very often Dastardly would get in front of everyone and then spend the time he's gained to get the lead, like setting up traps that would ultimately not work. And I'm like, dude, just race and win. You're ahead of them
Keep
half the
going,
time.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he needs
Well,
to live up to his
Classic tortoise
name,
in the
though.
hair, you know.
yeah.
He needs to live up to his name, though. Dastardly. Just
Yeah.
simply winning isn't dastardly.
And Dick.
Yeah, he needs to live up to his name.
Just be a dastardly dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are
He
we
need-
at?
He needs to embody that big dick energy.
The big D energy, the big Dastardly
Big,
energy.
big Richard. Big Richard.
So
energy.
the big Richard energy.
Big dick G.
Little Richard energy.
Oh my god.
I think that's
A
more
wop bop a
powerful.
luba. Luba bamboo.
I think that's more powerful. That's more energetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Little Richard energy. So what's happening here? Mouse leaves the principal office through like a secret tunnel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every capital has one, I guess.
I guess so.
Do they?
Underground. Oh.
And she kind
military.
of sets her
Wait,
jet to autopilot.
what are
Yeah.
we
Hmm?
basing that theory on?
No,
Hmm?
nothing. It's just something Sniddler said.
I don't know. National Treasure.
Oh,
Nicholas
there you
Cage
go. Yeah,
movies.
sure.
Sorry.
There's always a secret escape route.
Indiana Jones. Oh yeah.
That is the second time someone has referenced National Treasure to me in the past 24 hours. Because Cal referenced it
Really?
I
on,
did.
Oh my God.
on
That's
Too
really
Much
weird.
Energon last night. No, I've never even seen those movies.
Neither have I.
It's a thing. I think I've only seen the first one. Wasn't great.
So
I saw
Um,
parts of the first one, but
No.
Mouse can put her jet on autopilot of some sort because she like presses some buttons and then folds her legs and like puts her arms behind her head.
Yeah.
puts her feet up and kicks back and takes a load off.
It's too bad she
How
didn't
long is
need
this
any
tunnel?
company. Hmm.
How long is that emergency escape tunnel?
I
Oh,
don't
long
know.
enough to get her out of there though. And she starts like dropping things. We don't get to see what they do yet.
The Senders. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're back to the races, folks. And it's wacky.
Yep.
There's like a shoe.
All kinds of mayhem
There's
is
a
going
shoe.
on.
Yeah.
Very
And,
much like a Micro Machines racing game.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A fucking T-Rex shows up. Now, Cal, so this like skeletal T-Rex, is this like one of those, we were talking about this on some podcast we did a while ago. Those like
Oh, no.
dinosaur skeletons that you would get pieces of them out of a magazine in the early 90s and you would build the T-Rex skeleton.
Do you remember me talking about that?
I do
Yeah.
remember you talking about that. And I
So-
remember
We're
that
having a lot of those.
I remember having those too. I don't remember exactly what it was, but is this dinosaur here?
Yeah.
It's a
Scholastic Book Fair, glow in the dark.
That's it. That's
T-Rex?
it. Right.
You're
Yeah.
goddamn right.
Is that what this is supposed to be? Do you think?
It kind of looks like it's wood, but the way it's shaped looks exactly like if you see the way you would get it is you would get the first one and it's just the head. I had a whole bunch of friends with just the T-Rex head,
Yeah.
but I got all of them and like assembled the glow in the dark T-Rex, right?
I think
and that's
I
exactly
did
what
too.
this looks like.
Yeah.
And it was like the kind of glow in the dark where like you had to juice it up by holding it up to a light. Like it wasn't like terribly effective or leaving it under a light all day.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this little T-Rex looks like. I can't remember exactly what the little like comics or the little like books were called, but it's definitely a Scholastic
yeah.
Book Fair order. Because I'd always like save my
pretty
money
awesome.
to get the new dinosaur one to assemble my dinosaur over a few years.
Sweet.
And that's you're right. I get
Yeah.
big glow in the dark T-Rex vibes from that.
Uh,
If anyone was that just a Canadian thing? Like I wonder if anyone listening has any idea what the hell we're talking about.
Scholastic Book Fairs.
listeners, tweet at me or
Do you-
Sniddler. And,
Yeah, do you
Yes.
remember the
Do
Scholastic
you remember
Book Fair?
the Scholastic Book Fairs?
Yeah.
In elementary school.
Yeah, and if you are not
wherever.
Canadian, especially tweet at
Mm.
us and tell us if you remember
Dude,
these, because that will
is it-
answer the question
Is
for
it
us.
strictly Maple Leaf State or is it everywhere? Because
Maybe North America thing. I'm not sure. What was your reading program called in elementary school? You know how everybody
program?
had like an acronym for like kids reading? Like ours was ReBoot. Reading in bed, it's terrific. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody had like a different like school reading
No.
program.
I don't
acronym.
remember this at all.
I
No.
actually
Oh.
don't remember that at all. I think I heard of some. I think it was in certain classrooms, but no, it wasn't like a school-wide thing or. Yeah, my division didn't have anything like that.
My partner's was different. Hers was called something else too. What was your reading program called in school? Oh, I thought you'd be able to remember. Okay. She was having none of it.
That's fair.
I thought it would be. She would be excited.
Hey, that's another thing, another question we can pose to the listeners.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you remember that, tweet
What was
at us.
what was your reading program called? Or
Yeah.
acronym called at school? Yeah.
Yeah, tweet
Ribbit.
at us. Leave a comment
Reading
on the
in
video.
bed, it's terrific.
Send us an email, alphanumericpod@outlook.com.
Usually, you
Yeah.
remember. Usually, you had like you would put in stickers into like some sort of thing and have like a weekly goal, and if when you got to 10,
That sounds
Right, like-
that sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah.
yeah, and, like every school had something different like that, but it encouraged you to read through different little books, right?
Right.
I don't think I had that.
The work that that we all did just for the sake of getting a sticker, which in like fucking duotang, which in hindsight is like such a meaningless reward.
Yeah, but they're gold. They're like shiny, like different colored stickers, man.
It's a golden banana.
There's something about 90s kids and stickers that's like, it was so satisfying. Do you remember the weird like little vinyl, like reapplicable like stickers you could put on like a fridge, or like a glass?
Sorry, the what?
The little kind of like reapplicable like rubbery or like little vinyl, like almost like a
Oh
like a
yeah, yeah,
decal.
yeah, like
almost
a decal,
like
yeah,
sticker. You could put them on like computer screens or the
I-
fridge or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I used to back in the mid 2000s. I used to have one of Daredevil that I had in my car window.
Nice.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they'd come with like a little backdrop, like a scene of a park or a mountainside, and you could put the characters down and make different little.
Never had
I'm just
that,
talking
no.
about stuff. I guess I thought that was wildly popular. You put the little stickers down, you make a little scene. Anyways, let's get back to the.
My
What was wildly popular were the T-Rex skeletons that were. Well, I had like tons of them. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did?
And we see them in this episode. Well, we see one. Where are we at right now?
just one.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we
he
are.
roars at Enzo. There's a tank in the background. I'm trying to recognize stuff, but
And there, yeah, I know. I've been examining. I see a Grammy Award there, and I see a Brontosaurus skeleton as well.
oh, okay.
Not,
Oh yeah, the
not stomping around. They're just up on shelves.
the race gets held up by a bunch of like toy police cars.
Yeah.
Apparently an infinite number because it holds them up for so long and they just keep like going like both directions.
Yeah, and
I'm like,
Andrea has
where's
to
the
like,
5-0 coming from?
Yeah.
Do you know what's
Andrea
funny?
has to what?
Hang on, before we go to that, what's in front of all the police cars? Look very closely because you don't see it for very long,
Kind of
like
skimmed
at
over
all.
it.
It's like a
What
blink
were
of
they
an eye.
following? 1 second.
It's like on the other side of Andrea, like her bike or whatever, but you see them coming out the other side.
They're chasing like a white Forerunner.
We are seeing an homage to the O.J. Simpson case, which is confirmed in the wiki.
What the fuck?
Yes, it's confirmed in the wiki.
Yeah, because I'm like, why are they following a white Forerunner? Like a white
Yeah.
Jeep.
Ford Bronco. is
Ford
the-
Bronco,
Bronco,
yeah.
Yeah, is what OJ drove.
And I remember, like, after I read that, I was like, what? So I go back and I watched really, like, I couldn't see it. I only just saw it, like, before this episode.
Yeah,
Huh.
started.
I'm still trying to see
And
it.
I was like, wait a second. Like, it's like a blink of an eye fast.
I see it. The white
Yeah.
Jeep like thing.
It's not there for very long, so it's, like, carefully put in there.
Wow.
Yeah. I just love the creators of the show. You know, everything is...
Yeah, that's his truck he was in.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. Watching that
Wow.
live.
I remember that day.
I
Yeah.
saw what they were chasing in this, but never put 2 and 2 together.
Did you guys ever
That's,
watch
That's weird, man.
you guys ever watch American Crime Story, The People versus OJ Simpson, that was on back in like 2015?
I think I did, actually.
Cuba Gooding
It
Jr.
was
played
like a
OJ
special,
Simpson.
wasn't it?
No, it was like a 10-part series. And yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr. played OJ Simpson, and it had a lot of people from American Horror Story in it because it was from Ryan Murphy, the creator of that show. Show was really fucking good though. But
Huh. I love American Horror Story.
yeah, check out The People versus OJ.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
damn good
I'll
series.
have to check that out. I'm pretty sure I saw something like it. Yeah.
But it was, and the reason why I brought this up was because like it was kind of wild for me to see a dramatization of like stuff that I remember watching live on the news.
Yeah.
That was such a just a weird experience. And like the first episode just like the first episode ends with like a shot of like the Bronco like driving on the highway and just like starting to speed up and then like swerve through traffic and like slowly going faster, and I'm like, oh shit, the Bronco chase.
Huh.
Yeah, American Crime Story, The People versus OJ Simpson.
Good.
Check it
good
out.
catch.
Check it out.
I'm gonna check that out.
So, in the game here, Andrea kind of like gets a little bit serious, and she rides her motorcycle up the tail, and like ramps off of like the
Yeah.
spine of the T-Rex
Yeah, she
over the
yeah.
police.
Yeah, she uses the T-Rex as like a jumping ramp.
Yeah. Pretty badass.
That's pretty awesome.
What I want to know
Pretty
is like,
badass.
how do the racers know where the course is? Like, what the bounds are, because like the user seems to know exactly where they have to turn. They have to go under this chair. They have to go under the desk. But while we're watching it, it just kind of looks like it's a little menace. Oh, there's a Jurassic Park
This is Jurassic Park scene.
reference when he flips over Dick Dastardly's car and he's like pulling at the tire, the T-Rex.
Is that is that a
Yeah.
Canucks poster?
Is it?
Yeah, right when he flips over the car. Yeah, there's like
missed
a who is it? I even recognize the poster, but who is it? Maybe it's on the wiki.
Oh, it's so JPEGy that it's,
Yeah.
and there's no any number or anything has been taken off on purpose, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that supposed to look like a Tim Hortons flag? Is it Tim Horton? No.
No, no. I don't think Tim
I
Horton was a Canuck.
I almost thought the red flag in the back was supposed to be Tim Hortons.
Oh, it kind of looks like it, but it's number 1 something.
It says, what does it say? Can you guys read that?
Yeah, I cannot.
I can't.
It's all
I can't read that.
really.
I
pixely.
can kind of make out some of it, but like not entirely.
Yeah. Well, we tried.
If any viewers or listeners have any tips, then that would be one you could help us out with right there. What's on
I'm
the
not
wall?
too. I'm sure it's something. I'm not too.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like my sports ball as much as the next person, but I'm not too heavily invested in any one single sport. I know, controversial.
A Canadian who doesn't
It's
like
okay. I'm
the
not
hockey
either.
I know, monsters.
Traitors. Traitors, the lot of you.
Christopher says, having never watched.
How dare
hockey
you,
game.
sir?
Hey, that's not true. I've even been to hockey games. I just
I've
don't
been to
like
hockey
hockey.
games. There's a difference, Dan.
I just go for the beer, and
Now, see,
Being
I'm the
loud
true
and watching
traitor.
fights.
I don't like hockey, but I actually really like baseball. I don't follow it anymore, but
You
I
monster.
love the sport of baseball. Like, I think it's great.
I grew up playing
I
baseball.
prefer watching baseball live than
Back before
on TV.
the pandemic hit, listeners, we have a kind of a summer.
Excuse me.
We have like a summer baseball league here in our neck of the woods called the West Coast League, and our city has a team called the Victoria Harbor Cats, and they play during the summer months. It's basically like college. It's basically something to do for college baseball players when they're not in school. So they'll come
there
up
you
here.
go.
They'll come up here and play in the West Coast League. But yeah, love going to Harbor Cats games.
yeah.
Been to a couple major league games in my life. Unfortunately, not for many, many, many years now. But
Yeah. So what do we got, gentlemen, in the principal office here? There's some
We are
discussion.
back.
yeah,
Back at the principal office
yeah,
where Q. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Hugh basically tells Fong that, oh, excellent. It's so rare that we get to actually test our stuff out in real world conditions. And
Dot's like, wait,
And-
what do you mean test?
yeah. They're like,
He's
what?
like, didn't I mention it? This is all a theory, of course.
If our calculations are correct, this should work.
This should work.
And Fong's
Yeah.
like,
If
Should?
if this does not work, the principal office will be left defenseless. And I love
oh
Hugh's response here. And
it's just
it is one of
hang on a sec. I got it.
I've mentioned
you
this
stop
on like
making noise?
this and our other podcasts
Stop.
before, but like there are certain lines that have just stuck in my
Cats.
head for
this
years and
one of
years,
them?
like well into adulthood, and this is one of them. And so what he says is, see your point, Fong. Oh well, let's hope it works.
Oh well, let's hope it works.
I love it.
So good, just so good, because he's just so optimistic and just doesn't seem like he really understands what Fong and Dot are looking for. Who cares? Let's just hope it works.
He's a man of innovation. So again, the reason I think this is a direct Jurassic Park reference is because Enzo decides to help Cyrus, and he even like waves his arm and he's like, "Over here, come get me," kind of like how
Ellen
what's main character
Grant and
Grant kind of like
yeah,
uses the thing to that flare or whatever to distract the
Yeah.
T-Rex. Yeah.
tosses it. Yeah,
Cheers.
and then you go and then he goes and helps Cyrus up. Like, you do this
and
kind of
Frisket-
thing by
Frisket bites
choice?
the T-Rex's tail.
Oh yes, that's right.
Frisket's
That's right.
helping him out before
I
he
totally missed
ate
that, sorry.
Enzo. But yeah, you were saying Cyrus is like, "You do this by choice?" And he's like, "Have to, mister. It's my guardian code."
Why did you?
So the Pixar lamp like jumps over and like
Oh, that
puts
is
its,
literally
like,
the Pixar lamp.
puts its
Yeah.
head, its like lamp part, on Andrea, like trapping her. While the
Stop
user
making
is
noise.
in a jet.
Yeah, trying to take
Excuse
off
me
in a
for
jet.
just a sec, please.
So she got into a jet, or her vehicle changed into a jet?
She got into a jet. You could actually see in the background, like off in the left-hand corner, her car is just chilling out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she got into the jet. And Enzo surmises that her ultimate goal, the finish line, if you will, is her escaping through the open window.
Yeah. Yeah, he puts that together really quickly.
I think he got some data when he rebooted that let him know like
Yeah.
it was a race and what the end goal is and
Yeah.
yada yada.
And Glitch can tell him that stuff too.
And that's true, yeah. Game stats. And he tries to get Frisket's help, but Frisket is like
Chasing the T-Rex, yeah.
the skeleton,
Yeah,
It's like fleeing.
fleeing with its head and like little T-Rex hands up.
Yeah.
So he appeals to he appeals to Cyrus. And he's like, "What? Why would you trust me? After all I've done to you?" Guess I can't go against my programming.
Yep.
Can't go against my code.
Yeah, and we're outside of the game
The
now.
Guardian code.
And Megabyte and Air Doctor are chilling out, and Megabyte, I think Air Doctor is literally a Nazi because he straight up says "Jawohl, mein Führer."
Yeah, he calls
Oh,
him
yeah.
Mein Führer. So he's quite literally a Nazi scientist.
Nazi mad scientist.
Yeah.
Which kind of fits his character.
He likes yelling,
It's
"Throw this bitch." Often.
Yeah, they say that a lot in this season. Throw this bitch.
And a big
I'm gonna, yeah,
device
I'm gonna make
holding
a
up
montage. All those.
holding up evil hexadecimal comes out of the building.
Yep.
Yep.
She's looking pissed.
She's looking super
Oh,
pissed.
yeah.
And it cuts back into the game, and they're in a yellow sports car. Cyrus is driving, and Enzo is like James Bond, like mounting the hood.
Yeah, the gold car looks pretty reminiscent to a early '90s Dodge Viper.
Yeah.
Which
I was
I'm
gonna
not.
say.
Yeah, I'm not a huge car person, but I love Dodge Vipers.
Yeah. I was a fan.
They're nice looking.
Yeah.
So Cyrus presses a button on the stick shift,
Yeah.
which is apparently like an ejection, like an eject button, and it shoots his seat,
Also from
Fires him.
luckily
Goldfinger.
propelling him forward, not backwards.
Also from
Onto the
Goldfinger.
plane.
The ejector seat,
Right.
the button
That's
on
right, yeah.
the shifter,
Yeah.
with the ejector seat. That's like straight up a thing from Goldfinger.
And Enzo lands on the wing of the plane, luckily.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good job, Cyrus. And he kind of skids to a halt, but before he the camera like pans away, it shows Cyrus looking at like a helicopter that's just parked
Yeah.
there. Hmm.
Yeah, and Enzo's
I
on
like
the
that Enzo goes to pull a gun.
yeah. Enzo's on the
Enzo's
side of the
little-
plane, and he goes to pull a
little
gun
doll.
out from his jacket, but it's the stupid baby's like Bob doll.
Man, that thing is in many more episodes than I would have thought.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little
Recurring
prop.
prop.
He's like a character unto himself.
Mm-hmm.
And so the user like finally takes flight, and Enzo's about to go flying, but he gets saved by like one of the what are they called? The rudders on the wing,
The flaps. Yeah.
flaps.
Yeah, rudders, ailerons.
I
I'm
think
not quite
they're
sure all the parts.
I think they're literally called flaps.
The moving parts that make
Yeah.
the plane turn.
The bits
But-
that go like this. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. But it's
They're
all for
flat,
naught
yeah.
because the user just like flies around and Enzo goes falling anyway.
Well, he
Yeah,
takes the toy and he jams it into one of the flaps, so it's causing it to jam, so she can't steer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can only turn left
Yeah.
now.
Like Zoolander.
No,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
opposite
wait.
of Zoolander.
Zoolander
Opposite
can
of
only turn
Zoolander.
right, never
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not an ambi-turner. He can't turn
And
the
as-
anti-Zoolander.
He wasn't born an ambi turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never had that privilege. So Enzo's falling here, like free falling, and he goes, "I suppose this is where I say ho ho ho."
And this is where we see the aforementioned Native American character that's probably supposed to be the Indian in the cupboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think his name was like Little Bear or something like that.
And so,
Yeah,
like,
he just wrote it
Enzo
out,
be, like, saying, oh, I suppose this is where I say ho, 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 just, like, further adds credence to the fact that they have no idea what Christmas is. So to him, like, ho, ho, ho is just, like, some kind of death
Something
rally.
you say when you're falling.
Like, some kind of death cry.
Yeah. Yeah. When things aren't looking good, you yell ho ho ho. I love that. So interesting. Cyrus catches him in his like little like rolly-copter, but the blades
I was
of
just
the
gonna say-
helicopter are wider than the helicopter.
So how did he
So I'm
catch
like-
him?
How did he catch him?
Maybe if
I
he
I
was
know,
on his
that's
side.
interesting.
Maybe he did a sweet move and like
Yeah.
tilted the helicopter sideways.
Leave it
Yeah.
to the viewer's imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says some weird
Mhm.
joke like, "I thought that I would pick you up because you
Brother.
were putting
Because
me down."
after
What does
putting
he
you
say?
down so much or something like that.
Oh, I thought I,
was like,
would
get
pick
it.
you up
That's
after
a sweet
putting you down.
line, you know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So Cyrus
And-
has finally come around on Enzo.
So Christopher, you know how you said like there are lines that stick with you?
Yep.
The user, we get to hear her say something for the first time ever. And she says, "Help! Help!" Like HAEL like AP.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for some reason
Help.
my cousins and I, whenever we were like like pretending we were in trouble or something, we would say, "Help! Help!" I don't know why. For years, for like a decade, I couldn't even remember why we said that or what it was from. And so like it got blasted into my head when I was watching this, and I was like, "Oh, I got that from ReBoot."
Mm.
Weird.
Yeah.
And she
Also-
did.
Reboot also got it from their Hanna-Barbera cartoon. What was it called?
Did somebody say it like that?
I've actually never heard of this one, but it was called The Perils of Penelope Pit Stop,
Okay.
and from 1969, 1971. But
69.
yeah, that was
Nice.
the user cries help, help, and it's spelled HEYLP. HEYLP.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Look at that.
So Penelope Pit Stop. I had never
So
heard
we
of
were
that.
actually quoting
I'm gonna have to look
Penelope
that up.
Pitstop. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Google. Because I gotta
And-
know what I'm talking about here.
The game is over. She did.
Penelope.
Enzo and Cyrus high five.
Yeah. And everything ends
I'm
up
sorry,
okay. And it seems that the angry mob has come around. And they
Yeah.
all like cheer and they're like, "We were with you the whole way."
Yeah,
They even say,
right.
"Yay, Cyrus!" Because they saw him helping.
Yeah.
Yay, Cyrus.
So
Oh
Megabyte.
wow. Okay, so she actually. Yeah,
What?
this. She actually looks like Penelope Pitstop in the.
So
This
the
is
user
her
looks like
here.
Penelope Pitstop.
Okay. So
Which is.
that
you
does
can-
not
can't see
show
shit.
You
at
can't
all.
see that.
We see white.
You can't see it at all.
We see glow.
Go into the
No.
light.
Not a chance.
Don't go into the light.
Basically, like the pink suit with the goggles and yeah. Except I don't think she's.
Got it.
If I remember what that is after this recording is done, I will Google it.
So Cyrus gets a weird feeling he's probably has never experienced. Like people are like cheering for him. They're saying that he helped the Guardian, and like he gets to be on the
Yeah.
winning and the good side. Not only that, and praised instead of living in fear.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
must be like a huge 180 for him. And it's not long lived because Mega Breath is there.
Yeah. Megabyte's there with Hack and or Slash. And
Cyrus.
yeah. He orders them to take this
Yeah.
traitor away.
He is
And
Furious.
Andrea and Enzo get in the way, and Megabyte's like, hand him over, or I'll fuck you all up with hexadecimal,
And
basically.
Frisket is
Basically.
there. So he
And
that tilts
I-
the tables a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah.
Enzo sees
I love this. Sorry, go on.
Enzo sees bondage hex.
And he's
it's all
like,
like-
"Hello."
He's all like, you did that to your own sister?
He's like, "What the fuck, man?"
He's all like, hello, nurse.
And his eyes shoot out of his head.
Gets out like a big like cartoon mallet and starts like pounding the ground. Barking like a dog.
Wolf whistles.
Yeah.
Actually turns into a wolf.
Now we're just referencing the mask.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
From Animaniacs to the mask.
Yeah. And Enzo calls Megabyte sick.
You are a sick man. Sick and
Sick.
twisted.
Sick and twisted.
And Megabyte does his Wolverine thing with his claws.
Yeah.
Swing.
But like Christopher said, it's not
Snicked.
his nails. Right? It's the
Yeah.
Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so I feel
sometimes
like,
it's nails and sometimes
Yeah.
it's Wolverine claws.
like the first time we ever saw it, I swear it was like the Wolverine claws coming from his knuckles.
Yeah.
And then all the other times
Yeah.
we've seen it up till now, it's been his like nails.
Yeah.
And now it's his
Thank you.
Wolverine claws again.
Yeah.
So it depends
They look
on
a little
what
more
mood he's in.
menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on
I
who's
think they do.
animating this week.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Wolverine claws are cooler, right?
Yeah.
And Mouse flies by, and these giant like pods like embed themselves into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, the firewall emitters. I can't remember what they called them.
Yeah.
Senders.
The senders or something.
Yeah.
And on Glitch, Enzo gets his sister, and Dot's like, "Senders in place, firewall ready, awaiting your command, Guardian."
And
To give him
Megabyte
some
and Megabyte's all
power
like,
here.
what?
He's literally like,
What?
"What?"
What?
And Enzo's like, "Glitch, firewall."
And then he
and
kind of
some-
just looks a little confused and like, what am I supposed
Looks
to say?
around. Yeah. Am I supposed to do
And-
anything? Scratches the back of his head.
Nothing's going on.
Yeah, he's got like
There's
one
a whole lot
eyebrow
of
raised.
silence. Yeah. And you hear this kind of like rumble.
Oh, hey, 9 is in the background.
Yeah, with the teeth.
And then suddenly, all their little like green, bleepy, like lights on them start
Yeah.
to like turn red in sequence,
yeah,
and they
Start
shoot up in
shooting
the air like
flames.
fireworks.
Yeah, start shooting
Yeah.
flames into the air. It's actually quite
It's a cool
beautiful.
effect.
it's pretty sweet. I love this. Yeah,
Yeah, it's quite beautiful looking.
Yeah, and they all go in kind of like sequence around the Silicon Tor like sector.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Hack and Slash grab Cyrus. and pull him in.
Yeah,
They just reach.
That's
over.
disappointing.
Yeah, I know.
man, he deserved to win too. Like, he deserves to. He, I feel like he's never wanted to be evil. He's just been threatened into service.
Yeah.
So
it's
when
kind
Hack
of
and
their
Slash grab him,
scapegoat.
He seemed like kind of a
Yeah.
piece of shit when we were first introduced to him, but
Yeah,
he's
he was abused.
he felt it felt good for him to. He wanted to be good. You could tell.
Yeah.
So no, he got grabbed back and pulled behind the firewall before it closes. And Megabyte with his mouth open, looks around as like the fire kind of like forms a physical like energy shield just around the sector,
Yeah.
which apparently Hexadecimal finds fucking hilarious.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't this rich? Aren't we a
Aren't
pair?
we a pair?
Now it is the
Now
jailer
it is
who
the
is
jailer
jailed.
who's been jailed.
and the mainframers outside of the firewall are celebrating, and the music picks up again. A firewall.
The firewall.
Yep.
And that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode.
Megabyte looks pissed. He's literally shaking with rage.
Oh, he's just like he was this close. He was like the thing is, all that time passed while it was forming, and there was silence before the firewall, and I kind of feel like there's kind of a lull here, and there was so much time for Megabyte to do something.
Well, he didn't know what was going on.
That's true. Everybody was kind of confused. Even Enzo didn't really know what else to say other than glitch firewall, and then kind of just look around and go, okay, I did, like, all right.
Yeah, remember Megabyte was all like, what?
What?
A firewall?
What? Yeah.
Because he's been in mainframe. There hasn't been any Norton antivirus here. There's been no protection whatsoever. No Windows Defender.
No McAfee.
No. Wow. Nothing.
No NordVPN.
Not even AVG free.
Jeez.
Oh God. No. So he was quite surprised.
Just as I was.
And here we are.
And I.
So. That was is there anything you want to mention or throw out of the episode before we get into our alphanumeric rating, gentlemen?
I would like to point out that the episode was written by Dan DiDio, who was like the editor-in-chief of DC Comics for a long time.
That's right. I remember you mentioning that. Yeah.
It's a cool episode.
Yeah.
The game was fun. It was wacky and fun.
Apparently, he was also one of the lead writers on Shadow Raiders.
Oh, cool.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, very obviously Toy Story was the game. Well, sorry, was the movie. The game was based on Toy Story, but there was also the Toy Story game, which was very similar. It was for Super NES. And yeah, you're just going through Andy's room and you're riding on.
It was very Micro Machine races.
Very,
Feeling.
yeah.
I played the Toy Story 2 game on PS1, which was actually a lot better than you'd think it would be for a licensed game.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Interesting.
I played a Toy Story game on the Sega Genesis.
Hmm.
And you played Woody, and you used his pull string as like a whip,
Oh, yeah. And you like swung.
and you could swing and attack
yeah.
enemies with it. Yeah. I did a really weird thing where I found out if I like jammed the cartridge in right as I was turning the power on a certain way, like jimmied it, the game would start up, but the health would flash funny. So I like
Interesting.
hard hacked the game to have infinite life. And I just went through the game with his like life, like his little sheriff badge spinning,
Interesting.
never dying.
Wow.
I'm sure that was great for the cartridge and the
It
system.
was probably like the
wiggling
ultimate
it and
cheat
jamming
code.
it in.
The ultimate cheat code right there.
Yeah, the first time I did it by accident, and I tried to replicate it, and I could.
Yeah, sweet. Apparently that's a thing.
Hacking the
Wow.
system.
Weird. So
Alrighty then. Yeah.
here on Alphanumeric, we have the alphanumeric rating system, where it's a 4-point system. Ranges from that was bad, very bad, to I don't think so, to that was easy enough, to alphanumeric, mostly self-explanatory. Sniddler, what's your alphanumeric rating for Firewall?
Oy vey. This is a tough one because it's like I really like the episode. I think it's really well written. I myself I think it's super creative, a lot of really cool like references and spoofs, and even all the way down to a freaking O.J. Simpson chase. The
Weird.
slow speed
A
pursuit
weird reference
going
to
down
me.
the highway, followed by like a massive string of cruisers.
There's
all
so
the way
much
down to-
90s shit in the, like, pop culture
Oh.
stuff referenced in this episode.
Oh yeah.
They had fun with it.
All the way down to Bond references and Dick Dastardly. Like that's just
Mhm.
I'm gonna give this one an alphanumeric for me because it was just really fun to watch. It was fun to watch. I liked I liked everything. I like how many times we've seen we've said throw the switch, and I just find it
Throw
amusing.
Z switch.
What are you gonna rate
Throw
this
the
week's
stick.
episode this week, Sniddler? The same thing I rate it every week, Pinky. Alphanumeric.
Alphanumeric.
The same thing I rate everything every week, Pinky.
It's an alphanumeric for me. Yes.
That was good.
I couldn't find anything wrong with this episode. It was at first like that was easy enough, but I'm just gonna give it an alphanumeric because I just really like this season so far. So yes.
Christopher, you got a feel for what you're rating this one?
I'm giving it that was easy enough. It was a enjoyable episode, and I don't really have any problems with it, but it's not an episode that I ever really go back to. And I can't see myself going back to it very much, even going forward. There's nothing really wrong with it, but like I can't give it a top tier rating because like there's something missing from it.
Well, member berries aren't enough for me to rate something really highly. Just because something's chocked full of like references, right?
Yeah.
Isn't necessarily entertaining to me. And like you said, it's not bad, but I'm giving it a that was easy enough as well.
Nice.
It was okay, but I mean, the firewall was the most important thing, and that only took like 30 seconds of screen time. I do like how things are fleshed out. I like the secret lab, right?
Q branch.
I like the kind of like arc of Cyrus like turning a new leaf.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not like memorable. So
Yeah.
it's not great.
I think the most memorable thing about the episode is the theme song, which is just a like riff on the Goldfinger theme, as I've mentioned. So
Yeah.
how much credit can you really give it for that?
Yeah.
All the credit. We got to see sensual dancing Dot, god damn it.
I
camel
gave it all the
toe and
credit.
all.
I gave it yes. Yeah. I gave it all the credit.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that much enthusiasm there.
Hey, you know, hey, it's details. I look at details.
Yeah.
The devil is in the details.
See, that's the thing. That's why I give it I just like the level of creativity that goes into these references and building them into the episode themselves. which is why I just give it a high rating because I find it amusing. I don't necessarily go back to it all the time, but it's a memorable episode for me. So
there's definitely a skill in references and homages without making them feel forced.
yeah.
And they don't really feel forced in this episode.
None of them really felt forced. The show can get away with a lot of that because of its very fantasy nature.
Yeah.
Right. In the mechanic of a game falling on mainframe, and it could be sci-fi or fantasy or Toy Story or whatever, gives kind of limitless like creativity. Whereas all those references would feel like jarring in any other sort of setting.
Right.
Like they can't do these references on Beast Wars.
No.
It doesn't work. They're on planet Energon, right? They got their ships and that's it.
I mean, there are
some. Sometimes you put in a Superman reference and it like makes you mega cringe.
Yeah. And it almost ruins an otherwise great episode.
But yeah, so that was easy enough from Christopher and I, and an alphanumeric from Sniddler. We are running out of time here, folks. So if you would like to find us and creep us, you can find us on Lasercomb Podcasts on Facebook. Come and check out our website. You can listen to us there as well. At www.alphanumericpodcast.ca. If you'd like to send us a message from one of the questions we asked, or just want to say hi, send us an email at alphanumericpod@outlook.ca. Outlook.com.
Yeah.
I always forget that one. Outlook.com. If you want to creep us on the social medias, Christopher, I think you're Christopher Siege on Insta.
On Christopher Siege on Instagram and on Twitter at Lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. I've actually been a lot more active on Twitter lately than I ever have been before, and I'm starting to enjoy it. I'm finally getting into the Twitters.
I'll get there. Don't worry. And Sniddler, you yourself are a man of the twits.
I am on the twits. I am
a man of the twits.
on a man of the twits. I am on Twitter at APSniddler, SNIDDLER. Also on Instagram, APSniddler, SNIDDLER, LER. And I've also started a page on Twitch TV, APSniddler10, except I don't have anything on, but I will keep everybody posted on that.
I also have a Lasercomb TikTok. I don't do much on it. I mostly just post I mostly just post little snippets from episodes of either this show or Too Much Energon. Haven't posted on there in a while, but I might start doing that again. So that's at Lasercomb on TikTok.
Nice.
All right.
I also have an AP Sniddler TikTok that I haven't actually used in a while, but there's some interesting things on there, I guess. So yeah.
Don't you have a dance on there?
I do have a dance. It's the BS&P dance. It's more or less the
10 out of 10.
The Fortnite.
I want to see some Fortnite dances from the Sniddler. Go creep him on TikTok.
If you want to see Sniddler flossing twice a day, go there.
Are you supposed to floss twice a day? I thought it was only once a day.
I don't actually know. I don't floss. I haven't flossed in a while.
And I think
I'm
on
not
that
perfect.
Note, well, you can't overfloss, surely, right?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, all right. On that note.
And on that note, I've been one of your hosts, NeoCal.
We'll be back next week with the 4th episode of Season 3, Game Over.
Oh, very important, right?
This is a very important episode.
That's a big episode.
And Season 3, Episode 4.
We'll also have a little announcement at the end of that episode, too, about what's coming in 2 weeks from
Something
from
special.
today.
Yes.
It's not Reboot,
Yes.
but it's something else pretty cool that we've been talking about for a while, so stay tuned for that.
All right.
Indeed.
And on that note, I've been one of your hosts, NeoCal.
I've been another host, AP Sniddler.
And I have been some other host, Christopher Siege.
Until next week. What?
What?
Firewall?
Into the fire.
Well,
Wall.
ho, 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 this.
Deck the halls.
Help?
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho.
Run along, woman. This is man talk.
But how did Enzo get the little baby's like guardian toy?
The baby threw it at him.
Oh, right.
He got
Does that
banged
mean
in
the
head
baby
with
has
it.
the gun now? Because he said, "Where's my gun?"
He just throws a 1911 at
He just throws the doll at him and the fucking gun just boomerangs back for some reason.
You can never start too early.
No.
Gun safety.
No. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, especially if you're walking around with a SOCOM pistol equipped with a silencer.
Oh, damn. Now you mean business. Tactical espionage business.
Yep, tactical espionage action. Make sure to bring a ration with you. Dun
At
dun
least.
dun 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 dun.
Oh, so close.
Huh.
Yeah. He had
Anyway.
no choice, folks.
Anyway, bye bye.
Till next week.
You weave your spell, your eyes they beckon me. Your lips they speak lies and misery.